Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we will be making cocktails featuring one of the most famous flavors in all of fall, and we're not talking about pumpkin spice. We're actually talking about apple cider. So we're gonna show you a couple cocktails that you can make with apple cider. We're gonna discuss how flexible this ingredient is, and stay tuned to the very end because we will be comparing apple cider to its more famous cousin, pumpkin spice. Hi everyone, I'm Chris from A Bar Above. I'm a 15-year veteran of the bar and somebody that loves making fun and delicious drinks. So we're gonna make a couple of different cocktails featuring apple cider here in a minute, but before we do, we just wanna be really clear on what we're talking about when we talk about apple ciders as it pertains to this video, because there are a couple different types of apple cider products out on the marketplace. So two of the ingredients that we're not gonna be using are a sparkling cider like Martinelli's or a hard cider like Angry Orchard's. Both are really delicious and very versatile in the world of cocktails, but what we're gonna be talking about and discussing today is a cider based off of fresh apple juice, spices, and a little bit of sweetener. And that's exactly what we have here. Now, this is an incredibly versatile ingredient, especially for fall style cocktails, because it packs a lot of flavor in there. Now, for example, if I just wanted to warm this up, I could drink it as it is, and it is a really delicious, flavorful drink. If I want to turn it into like a toddy style cocktail, I could add a little bit of whiskey or brandy to it, and it will also be delicious. Now, one of the other things I could do, just to kind of demonstrate the flexibility of this ingredient, is reduce it, really increasing the flavor, and then using it as a syrup. And this is where we're going to see a lot more flexibility when it comes to making cocktails with this ingredient. Now, there's no better way to showcase how flexible this ingredient is than making a couple of drinks. So let's go ahead and do that. So the very first cocktail we're gonna make featuring apple cider is gonna be something very simple. It is an apple cider mimosa. So the way we're gonna build this is right inside of our champagne flute. So we're just gonna add a little bit of our apple cider. Then we have some Amaro, which has a lot of flavor packed into it, which really complements the apple cider. So we're gonna add just a little bit in there. And finally, we're gonna top that all off with a nice sparkling wine here. And you can do a lot of different options on garnish. I'm just gonna do a simple apple peel, if I can do it. Just for a nice little pop of color. And there you are. A nice fall mimosa. The second cocktail we're gonna make for you guys is a apple spiced margarita. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and build everything right inside of our cheater tin. But first, we're gonna go ahead and get our glass prepared with a little bit of salt. So I'm just using the cider as part of the rim to dress up the salt. I'm just gonna go ahead and set that aside there. So next, let's go ahead and start building our margarita for this. We're gonna go ahead and start off with our tequila. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add our Cointreau, or orange liqueur that you have on hand. Then some apple brandy. And we're gonna go ahead and put our cider in there. And some cinnamon syrup as well. Now, I know a traditional margarita is gonna go ahead and call for lime, but with the flavors that we have in here, lemon's actually gonna make a lot more sense. So we're gonna go ahead and use lemon in this margarita. Now, we're just gonna go ahead and add some ice, shake it up, and we'll be done. So there we have it. For our garnish, we could do just a simple sliver of apple right in there. And that is our apple spice margarita. And for our very last cocktail, we thought we would keep in theme with the fall and make a nice warm toddy style cocktail. So we're gonna go ahead and build everything right inside of our serving glass. So we're gonna go ahead and add our bourbon. Then some really delicious Amaro. Some cinnamon syrup. We're definitely going to need a little bit of acid in here, so some lemon juice. Then we're just going to go ahead and top everything off with hot cider. Let's give that a quick stir. And for our garnish, you do just a simple apple wedge right on the corner. There we have it, our hot apple toddy. So once again, we are at my favorite part of the video, the taste test. So we're just gonna go ahead and taste these in series and tell you what they taste like. So let's go ahead and start with the mimosa. That is nice. Nice warm spices, that Prosecco comes through. That is a very drinkable cocktail. I'm probably gonna finish this one off when we're done filming. So now let's go ahead and go on to the margarita here. That is fantastic. The salt with this is absolutely key. It's super good. The spice notes on this are really subtle since we have a lot other flavors going in here, but it's still really nice and warming. We get that apple element towards the end. Highly recommend this one as well. So finally, let's go ahead and taste the hot toddy here. Wow. This is my favorite of the entire lineup here. It is packed with flavor. There is so much warmth in this glass. That is by far my favorite cocktail. We're probably gonna have this entire season, so cheers to this one. Now, when we talk about apple spices and how it really pertains to the fall, we're really talking about some really key spices. We're talking about nutmeg, clove, ginger, cinnamon, allspice. And oddly enough, those are the exact same spices in pumpkin spice. The proportions might be a little bit different, but the key factor that really stands out between the two is the apple element. You get that fresh apple flavor, you get the acid that is associated with apple, and it really does transform those spices in a different way. So that is how it kind of compares to pumpkin spice. There we have it. We have made a handful of apple cider cocktails and discussed how flexible this particular ingredient is, especially for the fall, and talked about how it's similar but slightly different from pumpkin spice. Now, if you're going to be making apple cider cocktails this season, definitely put them in the comments below. We would love to see what you're drinking, or you can tag us on social media. Generally, you can find us at a bar above. Now, you know exactly what we're going to ask you to do. We're going to ask you to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, and you will get notified anytime we release cocktail videos similar to this one. Until then, I hope you are enjoying your favorite apple cider cocktails this season. Cheers.